All right, guys, so I wanted to do a little video about our nutritional IV therapy, what is in it and why it's in it. So by the end of this video, I hope you're able to understand, one, how to answer the patient's questions or client's questions, I should say. And then two, if you see something in your treatment room for the estheticians that you like inflammation, you're able to understand the process of where maybe the inflammation might be coming from and what nutrients might be good for that. So I kind of want to give you just a whole systems perspective and a holistic perspective so you can better understand why you might want to recommend a nutritional IV for your clients. So let's go ahead and get started. So first things first, I want to go over, we're going to be going over each one of these individually. I have the sheet right here. So we have our Myers cocktail, Radiant IV, Immune IV, Purify, Confident, Energize with the NAD, and our booster shots, and then our glutathione down here. Now, I want to start with this though. Before I go into each ingredient, we're going to do that afterwards. I want to give you a little bit of a background of how I think about it and what I think of, okay? So we're going to go into the systems. So this is a little sheet that's going to go into, we're going to do this one, the Krebs cycle. If you took biology anywhere, you've learned about the Krebs cycle, also known as the TCA cycle, citric acid cycle, whatever it is. It is our energy production of our body. If you want to think about it this way, energy is everything. If you want to be healthy, you have to have energy. Energy is the foundation of everything functioning properly in your body. So this system is so important. So what I did here is I highlighted a few things that most people are deficient on that actually prevents them from maximizing their energy production. So we have our fats, carbohydrates, and our proteins. They all break down into one key ingredient, acetyl-CoA. All right. Now, if you look at this here, we have carnitine is a very important ingredient. It's not one of the most common ones that I would recommend supplementing with. It's not very, very common in a sense that people are deficient in this one, but it is somewhat common, okay? It's not like the go-to like CoQ10, which we'll get into, okay? But look at your B vitamins. B vitamins are throughout this whole process. We have B1, B2, what is this? Calcium. We have calcium. This is what I love here. This is not glutamine, this is glutamine, not glutathione. Another B vitamin, B vitamins. Man, the list just keeps going down here. So let's see here. B3, B12, CoQ10, B12, magnesium, and Mn is manganese, zinc, B2, B1, vitamin C. So B6, so a lot of B vitamins, a lot of stuff in here. But I think one of the biggest ones is a lot of people are deficient in the CoQ10. And so we get stuck in this cycle, and then CoQ10, we have to wait on making more CoQ10 to keep going in this cycle. So this is one of the reasons why we have CoQ10 as an IM, intramuscular, a little shot. And then obviously B12 is another huge one that gets used up a lot. And B12 is offered in the IVs. It's in every single one that says that we're going to go through that says B complex, and you can use that as a intramuscular as well as a shot. It's one of our booster shots, $35. It's like, get it every week. Again, this is our methylation cycle. Methylation is really, really important. It turns everything into active ingredients, in what I like to think of it in a way. And so those active ingredients then provide those enzymatic reactions to provide that energy or function in the body, right? Okay. So we have B vitamins, magnesium, more B vitamins down here, B6, B12, selenium, magnesium. All right, B6. Let's see, GSH is glutathione down here. So these are end products. Glutathione, super, super important. I'm about to give you the downloads on that and why it's one of my favorites. And then one thing that I actually would love to have in the IV is taurine. It's one of the end products, and it goes through its own process of energy production. That's kind of why you see taurine in energy drinks. Okay, people are noticing a difference. One of these days we can look into formulating that in one of our IVs. So let's go through this real quick. So we have vitamin C, B complex, magnesium, trace minerals. Vitamin C. Vitamin C's master is like the antioxidant, okay? Because everything is electrons, all right? Electrical, right? So whenever we have, we call it, okay, let's start with this. Oxidative stress, okay, is when our bodies, our cells, okay, are constantly just going, and it produces a rust in a way. So this rust is this oxidative stress that's producing these free radicals because the machine is just going. That's why you have to, change your oil and put new gasoline. Your machine of your car, it's constantly going and producing, something that could damage it unless you change the oil or put more gas in it, right? You would just burn it out or had enough coolant. I mean, how many times did my sister just like the engine just went overheated because we didn't have the coolant in it, right? So that's how I think about the vitamins aspect of it, but especially vitamin C. So if you have this oxidative stress with the cells constantly churning and going, vitamin C, so let's start with the free radicals are like little rock stars going and causing all the havoc, like, yeah, right? So we have these rock stars, and then vitamin C comes in, and it's the antithesis, all right? That's a hard word to say, don't make fun of me, all right? So it's gonna go in there and bind to those, lock arms with them, and this is then going to take it out into a pathway and get it out of your system, pee, poop, whatever, right? So vitamin C is really, really good at that, okay? Vitamin C does so many other great things that I love, but in a way, it's a free radical scavenger, okay? All that rust, all that buildup, it's just going to really help deplete those free radicals. Now, I also like to think of it as a bucket, okay? Every one of us has a bucket, and we put all the crap from our food, toxins from our food, from the air we breathe, from the water we drink, it's in this bucket, and it gets filled up, and then it overflows, and that's when we truly experience symptoms, okay? That's where we get the anxiety, depression, whatever, okay? So, I won't go too much into that. So, I like to think of it as a bucket. So if you have vitamin C and it gets rid of the part that has a lot of the free radicals, perfect. It lowers the bucket of tolerance that you have. Glutathione, okay? Glutathione is the master antioxidant. For every like one molecule of vitamin C, it takes out one molecule of free radicals. Glutathione, for every one molecule of glutathione, it takes 1,000 of these bad guys out. And then it pushes it out, it reprocesses it, and it does it again. And so this is why your liver is constantly churning out glutathione. It is something that we get depleted in because of our toxic environment. And we won't go into toxicity, that might be another video, but toxicity is a huge issue and why we constantly see all these symptoms because our bucket is so maxed out and our glutathione levels are so depleted because it's trying to keep up and it's getting sluggish. So that's why having a glutathione booster shot after your IV for $45 is one of the best add-ons you could possibly do. So, all right, now B complex. B complex has your B vitamins, B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, okay? You saw all of those B vitamins in here. Super important to produce energy. Inflammation, okay, whenever toxins or something hurts your cells and it causes inflammation, what does your body have to do? It has to allocate energy to deal with the inflammation, okay? And when I say energy, specifically ATP, which is your currency for energy in your body, okay? Inflammation in those cells, and it has to deal with that by producing ATP, energy to handle that. So whenever we feel low energy, stuff like that, and we have this inflammation, well, if we can deal with the inflammation, provide more energy to the cell to handle the inflammation, get it out, handle it, whatever, boom, you automatically will have more energy to be allocated to more important functions of the body. So this is why B vitamins are very important for energy. So when we look at Myers cocktail, it also has magnesium and trace minerals. Let's just point out magnesium. Trace minerals just help with enzymatic reactions also in the body. But magnesium specifically is involved in over 300 different biochemical reactions in the body. So if you're deficient in magnesium, and let's just say, I think of it as everyone going to work, right? And if some of those cars don't have gasoline and you're the business that is working, how many cars are not going to show up to work and get the jobs done if it doesn't have gasoline, magnesium in the tank to get them there? So this is where your business, your body is failing, economically failing, because you don't have the right nutrition to get things in where they need to go. All right? So magnesium is super important. It is what mostly people know it for is it's the antithesis, again, to calcium. And calcium is part of the contraction, magnesium is part of the relaxation part of your muscles. So that is probably what's best known for magnesium is the relaxation, because everyone's so tight and it's like that calcium buildup, and then magnesium comes in and helps you relax, and it helps with the neuronal flow. So it's like a neuro and muscular health in a way, okay? So let's move on to radiate. And again, I'm sorry, I'm like at 11 minutes here, so we have so many more to go, but I already explained vitamin C, magnesium, so I don't have to do that again. But radiate here, we have amino acids, proline, lysine, trace minerals, vitamin C. I wish I needed a board. So vitamin C is the scaffolding for the building, okay? It is in the interstitial fluid, and it provides the structure for the tissues of the face to properly hold and bind, okay? So it is, I like to think of it as the foundation. Okay, if you're trying to build a house and you have collagen and you're trying to build this collagen after microneedling or whatever it may be, that would be a collagen induction therapy. Vitamin C is very much necessary to help build that collagen. All right, and then what collagen is made of glycine, proline, lysine, pretty much is the main components of it. All right, so vitamin C, your foundation. Proline and lysine is your walls that you're putting up in the house, all right? And then glycine is the roof. Now, I just want to go into a quick tangent real quick. Glycine, right? You need glycine for collagen. And collagen is 1/6 of your body's total protein, okay? Collagen is very important. Now, what else is made up of glycine, all right? We have a thing called Roundup, all right? So Roundup is made up of glyphosate. Glyphosate, all right? Glyphosate starts with a gly for glycine, because that is the base of that poison that is in Roundup. So glyphosate is showing up in our water everywhere. And it's such a tiny molecule. You like fluoride is probably hard to get out of our water because you have these bigger molecules that are in there, like the heavy metals, like chlorine, and then fluoride is so much smaller than that. So you have to have like a better filter called reverse osmosis to get that out, or distilled water. Glyphosate is smaller than that. You have to have reverse osmosis or distilled water to get out glyphosate. And glyphosate not only wreaks havoc in your gut, but also your body's gonna use that glycine and use it to make collagen. And guess what? Then you will not have the proper collagen. It's gonna be a faulty collagen, and you're just gonna sag, the wrinkles, whatever, because of glyphosate that is abundant in our water supply, because everybody is spraying on their yard. It gets into the water system. It gets into the when we generate water, and then it gets into our homes, and then we don't have the right filtration to filter it out. So glyphosate, killer, terrible. All right, next one is immunity. So immunity, vitamin C. Vitamin C is just super, super good for your immune system. All right, literally, if we want to go a little bit deeper, check out Dr. Levy's work. I think Dr. Michael Levy, Levy. If you type in Dr. Levy vitamin C on YouTube, he'll be all over the place. And I bought some of his books because he's dived into pretty much all the literature, at least back when 2016, when I think he wrote the books, all the literature of vitamin C and what it does for the body and the benefits of it. Coma, getting you out of a coma. It's gotten people out of a coma. People were about to unplug some people. They gave them super high dose. I think it was around 70 grams a day of vitamin C to 100 grams a day of vitamin C. And it got the guy out of a coma. He was getting better. So Dr. Levy, vitamin C, you can look at a lot of his work on YouTube. I got his books because I do want to know more about it. And the literature is really what I'm trying to understand myself. So immunity, high dose of vitamin C. We have BPAC, NAC. So NAC is very important. It is the precursor to glutathione, okay? Just like it's just one of those cars. If you're going to go to the business to make glutathione, you have to have NAC to get there. It's that process, okay? So as NAC, zinc, which is really good for the immune system, and selenium as well. Let's go into confident. So MIC is methionine, inositol, and choline. These things are like, they eat up your triglycerides in a way. They're amino acids that eat up the triglycerides, different ones in the body. So this is super, actually, I would think be super beneficial after a body sculpt. If you did an IV, or there are protocols to do it just intramuscular, which is super safe and easy, which we'll look into that. But confident IV with this, it's called MIC. People call it skinny shots or MIC shots. But methionine, inositol, and choline is like little Pac-Man that go through and eat the fat around your in your blood and everything else and whatever. So whenever you detox the fat from the body sculpt and it gets out into your system, you're gonna want something to go and eat it up. I think it should be a must that people get this at least every 3 treatments or something, you know? Energize, NAD. I could go on forever on NAD. It pretty much is like this. Here's one of the benefits of it, okay? They don't have this in there, but pyruvate to acetyl-CoA, you have to have NAD right here to turn pyruvate into acetyl-CoA. So, I like to think of it this. For every protein, carbs, fat that you eat, that we always eat, the macronutrients, boiling it down, it's all funneling down into the cell, well, especially carbs specifically. With all the carbs that we eat to get into the cell, pyruvate has to turn into acetyl-CoA. And it's like pyruvate comes up to the shoreline and it wants to go to the island to burn for fuel. And it needs a ferry, right? It needs a ferry to go across the water into the island. That ferry is NAD, right? So as we get piled up from all the carbs that we're eating, piled up, you have this line of pyruvate waiting to get used up, and not enough NAD to get into the furnace to burn for fuel to get into our Krebs cycle, right? The citric acid cycle. So we lose out on the potential energy. So NAD is super important to help pyruvate turn into acetyl-CoA and to put it into the island to burn for fuel. Also, NAD is one of the best things and the only things, literally the best thing. You have to have NAD to repair DNA. So for every bond that gets broken on DNA, it takes 150 NAD molecules to put them back together. So sun damage. What do you think, when you have sun damage, what do you think you need to repair the damaged DNA that you just caused from being out in the sun too long? You need some NAD, okay? So, and at a core, when our DNA is not working right and we get too many splits and we're not able to keep up with all the damage, your body starts to crumble and function. Your function becomes less and less and less. So the anti-aging benefits of DNA are by far like the best thing we've probably could ever think of. It's like a 9 on a scale from 1 to 10. It's like a 9. I would say vitamin C is down here. It is one of the best antioxidants, anti-aging benefits, energy benefits. It also has helped, I think because of the energy, it has helped, there are studies that show that it has helped depression, anxiety in the brain. There's people that are even using it at high doses at 1,000, which is 1 gram, 1,000 milligrams of NAD to help turn off opioid receptors in the gut and everywhere else pretty much, turn off opioid receptors to help people with recovery from their opioid addictions, which I've heard is a complete epidemic right now. So NAD, the benefits of NAD are so amazing. I couldn't tell you, just would love to see us do more NAD because I see the potential that it could do. So that's NAD. Booster shots, CoQ10, again, citric acid cycle. It's going to make energy and it's going to stop because one of the rate limiting steps in that citric acid cycle will be CoQ10. People don't make enough CoQ10. So if we want to keep that cycle going and going and going and move faster, 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 you need CoQ10. So that's why we use it as a IM, an intramuscular shot. We can't do it as an IV because it has to be bound in fat, and so IV is liquid, so we have to put it in the muscle, and then your body can use it up and put it where it needs to go, so you can start using that for your energy production, okay? Now, last one was glutathione. I touched on that. Glutathione, master antioxidant system in the body. I could go on and on about the benefits. And last but not least, I want to show you guys this. This is just something that I have from a SpectraCell, and it's all the scientific literature that correlates these nutritions to a certain issue. Think of it this way. Like anything that we have, it's just a broken system in the body. It's not because like, we have a lack of medication that we have now this symptom. It's a broken system. So if we just provide the right nutrition to the body, it will get all the cards to the business to get the job done, right? Does that make sense? So what I did is I highlighted everything that's in our IVs. Hopefully you can see that. I highlighted everything that's in our IVs, and then this is through SpectraCell's scientific literature, and they have the literature to back each one of these. I have this, guys, I'm gonna actually keep this probably in the IV place, and you can look at this anytime. ADD, so I'll just go through this real quick though, but let's just say why zinc? Zinc, cofactor for dopamine synthesis, all right, which affects mood and concentrations in ADHD. Low zinc depresses both melatonin and serotonin production, which affect information processing and behavior in NAD, and it has the references right there. There's 4 different references of literature that support that, okay? So, but just go ahead, let's look at this. ADD, how many people have ADD that could help? Adrenal fatigue, right? Holy cow, yeah, all those things are in different IVs that we have. Anxiety, asthma, autism, depression, I mean, the list goes on, diabetes. Look at all the things correlated. If you're deficient in these nutrients, then you are showing possible signs of going down the road to developing different issues. Okay? You can go through this. If the lists are, headaches. Are you kidding me? The list goes on. The list goes on. So this is why nutrition is so important. Inflammation, right? Inflammation in the body. Glutathione, magnesium, vitamin C. If you did a Myers cocktail every month minimum with a glutathione push at the end, how do you think your inflammation is gonna handle that? How do you think the CoQ10 after the shot after the push of glutathione, how do you think all of this will help with the inflammation, which, can we all agree, is a complete baseline epidemic that majority of issues start with? Inflammation. The secret killer was in front page Time magazine, inflammation, the secret killer, and a bunch of articles and literature to support that. So again, last but not least, weight management, okay? B vitamins, magnesium, inositol, B3, zinc, carnitine, important. So this is why IV therapy can change your life. When we ingest supplements, about 20-25%, maybe 30%, depending on how your gut assimilates and breaks down those vitamins, will get ingested into your system. 30%, let's just say 30%, for a good gut. How many people do you know have a good gut? I mean, I'm sometimes like, I could do better on my gut, you know? And I have never had antibiotics. I don't eat chicken or meat that have antibiotics in it, right? Like, most people have had that, which destroys your gut. I don't take any NSAIDs, any painkillers, which blow holes. It's like literally taking a live grenade that blows holes in your gut. So most people's guts are wrecked. So can we probably guesstimate about 5% is getting digested and ingested into their system when they take oral supplements, and still they find a benefit, right? But if we can bypass the gastrointestinal tract, go right into the bloodstream, give your body that nutrition that it needs, and even if it just saturates it, and whatever it doesn't need, it can pee out perfect, whatever, but it can saturate your system with that nutrition. And you can do that once a month for $150 with some key ingredients like vitamin C, magnesium, B complex vitamins and trace minerals. How much better are people going to feel? Their inflammation is going to go down, their ability to function. Your clients will do so well getting some IVs. And if you can just understand this, more energy equals more production of good things, okay? Handling bad things, lowering the bucket of all the toxicity and junk that is in our system, okay? That's in a nutshell. That's what the IVs do. And this is how we can bless, help people, help them become better parents, become better husbands and wives, become better at their jobs because their brains are working, because of more energy, their body's working because of more energy. And we all know when we get tired, we get cranky, and we say not nice things. So in a way, you're helping people and you're helping the world be nicer. So this is why we do IV therapy. This is why I'm always looking to make it even better and better, because I want to impact those people just as much as you do.